Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Welcome to the Odds Breakers, number one place for shared, sharp betting information.
Welcome back to podcast 94 of 2025. I'm your host, Kiev O'Neill. You can follow me on Twitter at OBKiev. Follow us at the Odds Breakers. Follow us on social media / the Odds Breakers. This episode is being brought to you by FanDuel Sports, a proud partner with the NFL. If you like to support the Odds Breakers and benefit from our premium plays, please visit theoddsbreakers.com, click shop, and become a member. Pick any for winning cappers, get the premium plays before the line moves. You can also support us on patreon.com. If nothing else, please visit the Odds Breakers and become a free picks and Telegram subscriber. We have a wonderful show for you today because a man that works on both sides of the window, and Mr. Raphael Esparza from Doc Sports and MyBookie.com, is back to break down some NFL Week 11. And lots to discuss for NFL Week 11. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the prop markets with all the craziness that's been going on in the industry with a man that makes props in Mr. Raphael Esparza. So I can't wait to do that. Before we do that, we are always talking NFL and ATS, right? That is important to us. And we're going to talk about the best covering teams for 2025 first. 7-2 Seattle, 7-2 LA Rams. Very simple there. New England is 7-3. And you have the Colts, 6-3-1. The Eagles, the Lions, who are playing each other both at 6-3. The worst teams, the Washington Commanders, 3-7. New Orleans Saints, 3-7. And then Green Bay, Cincy, and Tennessee and Cleveland, all 3-6 against the spread. Those poor Packers this year. What is going on? Mostly when they're away from their friendly confines. But hey, you know, I think that it's been interesting with the team with such a high perception and expectation this year, like Green Bay looking so poor against the spread. Totals, let's go to overs. Overs are first. Cincinnati and Minnesota both 7-2 to the over. Massive over teams. Jets, Miami, San Fran, Seattle, Dallas, Baltimore, Tennessee, all 6-3 to the over. And the biggest unders are Denver, New Orleans at 3-7, and then Kansas City and Las Vegas at 3-6. So those are kind of like your overs and unders trends and best teams for each category going into NFL Week 11. All right, well, let's not waste any more time. Let's bring in our wonderful guest and get into NFL Week 11 with Mr. Raphael Esparza from Doc Sports. Now, I'm very happy to welcome back an amazing handicapper, odds maker, and longtime friend of the show who works on both sides of the window, Mr. Raphael Esparza from Doc Sports and My Bookie. You can follow Raphael on X at VSI Doc Sports. Raph, thanks for coming back on the show. Another day in the life. How are you doing?
Yes. So Thursday is another day of a football week, but now we have college basketball, we have NBA, we have NHL, and you know what? There's UFC 322 this weekend as well. I'm just happy, like we were talking before, no scandals. Hey, 2 weeks, yay!
I love no scandals, baby. It's finally no scandals, and people think Vegas is like doing some craziness, and they just don't understand that Vegas is actually trying to make it look more honest. I mean, it's in their complete interest to balance action and to not get kicked out of state. So people are just so ridiculous. Vegas called. I'm sick of having to argue with people. It drives me nuts. But either way, here we are. We do have a massive UFC 322, and I'm probably going to mention a little bit about that at the end. But I will say that we have a lot to talk about because there is some serious matchups this weekend. What do you think about the marquee matchups in the NFL?
I would say the NFL, there's some good ones, and boy, there's some stinkers. And I won't even throw out another primetime Thursday night dud of a game. And
there's a game tonight? That's right. Yeah, I guess so.
You can even throw Monday Night Football as a anytime the Cowboys on it, but I can't wait to watch Seattle and the Rams. That's probably the best game I believe on the board. I know the NFC North has some really good games. I mean, Green Bay's going to Giants. Can they bounce back? Bears are contenders. It seems like now the Lions have a big game, but I'm just so excited because I think the winner of the Seahawks Rams represents the NFC.
You might be right. I don't know if Darnold can make it through a playoffs or not choke, but
See, I'm going to stop you right there because everyone's talking about last year how horrible he was. I'm not saying but from weeks 15 through the playoffs, he was awful. I just think it's a different team. I mean, now he has another weapon that they picked up in the trade deadline from the Saints, and I think this defense is much better than this defense he had in Minnesota. I think it's going to be a totally different thing. Maybe I'm a homer, maybe because I have a live ticket at 35-1 to win the MVP. Maybe I'm just playing the homer card right now on Sam Darnold, but I think
that's fair.
I think this is it. I think he's going to show that last year was just last year, and I think this. I'm not saying Seahawks are going to win this game, but I still think they're going to make the playoffs and they're going to be a hard out.
Well, maybe that's a little tell on what we're going to say about this game. So we'll see. Funny that the prop market. We always talk about it, and it's weird seeing all this craziness and these stupid decisions. I guess I should ask you as a prop maker, have you noticed some irregularities in this market before these athletes were exposed and the media found out and the leagues found out? Have you kind of like questioned a few things?
I don't question anything. I've heard and seen and knew stuff before, aka the media was notified on it, and it could go both ways. I mean, I know people like, to get rid of prop bets and stuff like that. And I tell, well, if you get rid of all prop bets, then you're just letting your Applebee's bookie and everyone going over to offshore and place this because they're still going to do it. They're still going to handle it. So now there's no one policing it. And then at the same time, if you put limits on there, what they said the other day about, I think the first pitch, the limits, $200 and all that. Yes, they're saying it just to please and have smiling faces and thank you for listening and thank you for being so serious. But you're trying to tell me, and I'm not saying BK is going to do this. I'm just using them for an example. So DraftKings, don't call me, don't sue Kiev. I'm just using you guys as an example. But you're trying to tell me if you have a bettor that just lost six figures on whatever he bet on a Monday, and he wants to put $1,000 on some first pitches, you don't think they're going to give it to him after they just got six figures from him the night before? These guys or these book owners and bookies and casino owners, they can say limits all you want, but if they have their whale, high roller, whatever on there that wants it, they're going to give it to them because they don't know how to say no to someone that's either paying their bills or giving them one-side action that they need. They don't know how to say no. And I think that's why in Vegas, you'll never see weird prop bets on there like Oscars and stuff like that. Because you can say, max bet $200, but if some guy just lost $1 million at Baccarat and he wants to put six figures on Best Picture or the next election or who's going to die next in a Walking Dead episode, you're going to tell this guy who just lost $1 million in Baccarat, say, sorry, limit's 200. Where is he going to go after you just told him no? He's going to go to the President's Hotel and they're going to make a phone call and say, hey, you give this guy no matter what he wants. So they're saying the good thing. Doing the good thing is two totally different stuff.
Absolutely. It is. And it's funny. It's like at the books, they might have just not cared for a while. This stuff's been going on, but at least you can thank the fact that there is them, I guess, telling on this situation, telling on these people doing it, and without legalized sports betting, it'd be a lot harder, in my opinion. So I think that's a massive argument for it, and trust me, with technology, there's never not going to be places to bet. It's you either have it illegal or they're still going to do it and nobody's going to catch them. That's really my opinion.
And it's not like the books don't care. The books are still policing. The books are still notifying. I mean, the public doesn't know that there's probably, I can honestly say there's been 4 college basketball games that have been circled this year that have been fishy or something and stuff like that. You don't hear about it, but the casino's notified the chain of command and stuff like that. So it's not our faults that ESPN didn't report it or Fox didn't report it. So they are. I keep on saying we. They are still doing their jobs on policing it and notifying. We're just not hearing it through the mainstream. We just heard it because NBA players and almighty Papa White, Dana White, had to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. And people can say maybe they're not paid enough. They're like subcontractors, doing the job for the UFC, and you can see how they can get tempted into it. But when it comes to these pitchers that make $20 million a year and these basketball players that make millions, where is the failure in today's society? How these guys are just risking it all for these props. If I'm a league, I'm saying, look, if you do this and get guilty, we have the right to take all the money we paid you in the past. That's the kind of law that they need to lay down. But I just don't understand it, man. How does somebody doing this for is it the rush? Maybe like when a rich person goes and steals stuff. You see that happen in Hollywood sometimes, and they get busted for stealing. Maybe it's the rush of it.
It could be that, but I think they made an example of the NBA. They didn't really need to pull out the whole FBI 10 people panel, 6 people speaking on that on a panel. I think they made the NBA the example for every league. Because if you get busted, we're not calling the local cops. We're not calling the gaming control board. We're not calling your mom and dad. We're calling the feds. So that means if you're guilty, you're going to federal prison because the FBI is there. You're going to be banned for the rest of the league. Yeah, you still get banned, but you're going to do time. So I think they're going to use an example for Porter and some of these guys and put them in federal prison, and they're going to show the court cases to every rookie introduction period when you get drafted, no matter what league. If you do this, you're not going to get slapped on the wrist. You're not going to, you're banned from playing in your league. You're going to be banned, and you're going to federal prison.
Yeah, it's no different than doing something like illegal in the stock market. You can go to prison for some of the stuff Enron's done, and some of these companies that do insider trading that get caught. It happens every day. We know that. But in a league when there's irregular patterns, it should be a lot easier to see. And the example I agree with making on these guys, because we want fair markets, and we don't want the fact that sports betting being legalized is the blame. It's the people that are making these stupid decisions. So I think that there's failure there, and the leagues just need to teach people better, because their parents sure as hell ain't doing it. And we see that in everyday life. So, I
actually feel kind of bad for some of the athletes who are probably hanging out with their boys and say, hey, you know what? I tweaked something today. Probably not going to play tomorrow. I'll probably go to get checked out tomorrow morning when we're at shoot around and stuff like that. And that could be misled. And now he told his buddy at the bar, or said, hey, you know what? It's not really.
What if he plays though? What if he's feeling great the next day? It's like,
I agree, because a couple ones that I forgot his name that was busted.
Rozier.
I can't. Was it Rozier that he gave? He gave information in one of the games. It was wrong. If like the two players, no, it was the one that was LeBron James, or AK supposedly LeBron James and Anthony Davis. He said they weren't going to play, and they actually did play, and he got bad for giving wrong information. But I'm just saying, there's probably cases where if I'm a pro athlete and I'm hanging out with my boys and say, you know what, I tweaked my back last night, probably going to sit tomorrow's game out. I just got to wait to go see the trainer tomorrow. You don't know what the buddies are hanging out. What if I got inside information, and they start pounding, and they're leading into, I'm friends with this guy. He just told me, and now the chain reaction. Player was just, shooting the shit at dinner, saying, hey, you know what? I did tweak something. Might not play tomorrow. I'm going to go to see the trainers in the morning, see how I feel. I mean, it's not really his fault for just telling his boys someone at dinner.
It's not, but I guess if you're going to say anything, you should tell the team in the league, because you know what?
Well, I agree on that.
That should be part of the job.
First.
Make it part of the job. And you know what? Maybe you have to do that, but it should have been like that anyway. I mean, when it all comes to all breaking news, Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport for the NFL. It's like, they want to know first. And I'll tell you who wants to know first is DraftKings, so they can adjust the line. FanDuel, right?
It's I'm so glad you mentioned those two guys, because it's so funny when they break news. It's hilarious because I probably had it like 10, 15 minutes from my sources and books and stuff like that. But when Shefty and Ian and all these other guys post something on TV, it's like, oh my God, they must have known. They just found out. Like, some stuff they do. I'm not saying they're not right and stuff like that, but a lot of stuff folks probably already know already.
Yeah, so instead they take the limits down to $200. All that's really going to fix everything. Yeah. More accounts is all you're going to see from that. It's not going to fix it. If anything, just have the punishment there. I think it's kind of stupid to act like you're really fixing anything by doing that, but. Because guess who's not going to do that? A couple books offshore somewhere is not going to have $200 limits. They're going to have them higher. So it almost makes it worse to do that, in my opinion.
They're happy. I mean, I have a lot of sources and I still do a lot of stuff. I hate to say thrilled that this is all happening, but it's probably, I hate to say it, picked up business for them, because a lot of people are like, oh, shoot, I'm hearing again, using DraftKings as an example, I'm not saying that they are. DraftKings cut me down to $100 on these prop bets. I'm just going to sign. I'm going to go offshore and place my bets now because I can get 500 or 1,000 and stuff like that. So I've been telling, this has been happening offshore every day in soccer and tennis matches. We don't hear about it because it's not the almighty U.S. This happens all the time. There's soccer fixed matches and tennis fixed matches and cricket fixed matches. It's just now it's happened here, and the world has to stop.
Exactly. Let's get into a little NFL. Buy low, sell high. Is there any teams that you might see with some value fading or being on either this weekend or in the near future?
Let's start by low. And I've said this on air on my weekly show that I do with Jonathan Coachman, and the chat blew up, and a couple panels wanted to go through the computer screen and wring my neck. And I'm going to stick with this. The Buffalo Bills window is closed. I don't care. I'm lowballing. I am not buying their stock to win the division, to win the conference.
Oh, you're selling high.
Probably not.
You're selling high then, because you said start with buy low. So yeah, sell high. Okay.
Sell high on fading the Buffalo Bills. I just think they're done with. Their defense is not good. They can't stop anything. Their run game is a bit awful. And now you're expecting Josh Allen to do everything.
Yeah,
run, throw, play defense at sometimes. That's not how you win Super Bowls or even win playoff games in general. They did nothing during the trade deadline to improve themselves. The Eagles got a better defense. The Seahawks got some wide receivers. The Colts better their defense. I just think every year Buffalo doesn't make it. Their window it trims down. It happens in every sport. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, Bills Mafia. I believe your window is completely closed. I don't see them winning a chip anytime soon, or even making a playoff. They may not even make the playoffs if they lose a couple more games. Just like the Chiefs, if they lose this weekend, they're on a thin ice on a playoff berth.
I agree, and I'm selling high on the San Francisco 49ers. I don't think that Juwan Jennings is a one, and Ayuk ain't coming back anytime soon. This team is bait up, and I don't think Brock Purdy's any good when he doesn't have those players. I know the good thing that happens is that they have the offensive line healthy. It wasn't my favorite offensive line anyway, but that defense is just got so banged up, and I guess Bryce Huff is back. That should help them a little bit. But this is a team without Fred Warner, without Gross Matos, without Nick Bosa. It is, now without Mykel Williams. Guess what? So you got Huff back, but you lost Mykel Williams, your number one draft pick. This is a team that's hurting. Their secondary has always been bad. They're getting treated like a top 8 team right now, being favored like this. We'll get to that game, but I'm selling high on San Francisco. If I was going to buy low on one, well, I don't know if it's going to be this week, but I'll tell you this is an ugly one, but Jacksonville is better than how they play. I'm not betting them this week, I kind of decided, but man, I could see myself being on the Jaguars as some stinky dog against like a Denver or an Indianapolis or something, probably like an Indianapolis. I'm a little bit somewhat sell high in Indianapolis too. I could see myself at some point here in the next couple of weeks buying low on Jacksonville.
I can't let them get buy low on the Bears? This is November 13th, and I'm saying buy low on the Chicago Bears, where we all thought Caleb Williams is not the guy. We're all thinking, oh, Bears maybe need to look for a quarterback if he stinks. They have a rookie quarterback or a rookie offensive coordinator, head coach. But you know what? They're in a hunt to win a division, and
I love it.
I think Caleb has played well week after week because I think he finally realizes, hey, this coach is here. If we suck, they're not going to fire him and bring someone else in here. I think he's starting to realize that the people around me are here to stay. I don't have to look over my shoulder because the head coach is on a hot seat or the offensive coordinator is on a hot seat, and I might have a new system to run next year. I didn't think the Bears would be. I don't want to use the word good, but in contention right now because I thought the Lions would be playing much better. They're really not. They've had some horrible home loss. The Packers, you don't know what you're getting with Jordan Love. I can't believe this. I'm going to say the Chicago Bears.
Speaking my language, I just had to change my background to Soldier Field, as you just reminded me, my friend. 6-3 Bears, baby.
We did not plan this either. We did not know each other's answers.
You know, I know their hardest part of the schedule's coming up, but is it that hard with the way Jordan Love is? Is it that hard with the Lions' inconsistency? I think they get 3 more wins and get 9. I mean, God forbid a 10th win will get them in.
3 road wins this year.
I know, and you know what? You can say they're against bad teams. I don't know. Washington had their guys or some of their guys when they played them. I think they did good, and they're getting better. And I still think they haven't even reached their ceiling. I agree with you. I didn't want to sound like a homer, but that's one I can see myself being on in a few situations. I'm not doing it this week. Maybe you are. We'll get to it. But as of right now, I've got my eyes peeled in on Chicago. We're not going to do Jets Patriots because it's Thursday night. But we're going to move to Washington Commanders, Miami Dolphins. Miami's -2.5, total 47.5. What are your thoughts on this one?
I can't believe I'm going to say this. I kind of like the Dolphins. I mean, I haven't played it yet, but when you get wins and your head coach has been on the hot seat, but all of a sudden you're starting to play better. You know what people are not talking about? Negativity. You know what people are talking about in the locker room? Hey, we won some games. We're playing much better. Washington's just all banged up. I know Marcus Mariota wants to have a bounce back game, but this is not a true road game. This is an out of country road game, and I'll take the Dolphins on this one. And isn't it so funny how I'm going to be a slight political just because I had a post the shutdown prop bets that I had all last night. Isn't it kind of funny that everyone's mad at the halftime show, but where is the football games been lately? Germany, Spain.
Yeah. You're kind of forgetting the point here, right?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, people are goofy. They're always going to be goofy and just driven by crowds. I bet the Miami Dolphins. You just talked me into giving it away. I like a -2.5 here. I think this Washington team is done. I think they're mentally done. What a disappointing season. I would treat it like a vacation if I was one of those players and go have some wine somewhere in Madrid. The Dolphins, funny. I like grabbing teams before the bye. You saw what happened with the New Orleans Saints last week before the bye. They just kind of want to get that one more nice happiness, and they're kind of creeping up. I don't think the disdain for McDaniels there as much as we thought it was. I think that Tyreek Hill was a distraction more than anything, and Malik Washington's playing some damn good ball. I see Atchin playing really good. Did they trade Phillips? Yeah. I think they might regret the trade soon if they keep winning, but this is an easy game for them, in my opinion. I think even though Dan Quinn is taking over the defense, I think he's got too much to worry about to be doing that. Now, I'm not sure if the defense is really going to respond here. I don't see Terry McLaurin coming back anytime soon. That's a big problem for Washington. I say 2.5. You got to take 2.5. You lay the points. That's going to be one of our plays. For this
will probably 3. This will probably move to 3 by kickoff.
It's going to move to 3.
I just don't see Washington money coming in. For everything you said, it's not like you have inside information. This is public. I mean, Washington's all banged up.
Deron
They're
Payne
probably-
punching somebody in the helmet. What are you accomplishing doing that? Breaking your hand and getting suspended? It's like, dude, it was funny. I got in fights when I was in high school. People punch me in the helmet. I laugh. Like, dude, you didn't do nothing. If anything, you push them afterwards, right? It doesn't do anything to punch somebody in the helmet. You barely even feel it.
You get in fights? I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
I was more of an asshole back then. Well, no, that's my wife. She might disagree with that. But no, it is a situation where this is massively hurt. I'm glad we're out both on the same side here. Let's move on to the Bucks versus Bills. Bills -6 now. What? Total 47.5. Starting to go down. What you got?
I need more Bills Mafia money because I'm leaning to take Baker and the Bucks on this one. And I'm not saying the Bucks are going to steal this game, but I think they can hang around in this game. I can see Buffalo winning by 4 points or less on this one, but the more points I can get, I'm taking Tampa Bay. I just think that they have more momentum than Buffalo has. I don't think Buffalo, and especially at home, they have not played well at home. They barely beat a Ravens team in Week 1 when they were really bad.
Yes, I would not bet the Bills, especially because they're third worst in rush EPA when Bucky Irving's coming back. And guess what?
Yep.
36-mile-per-hour winds, my friend. I looked this up. I slammed the under earlier at 48.5. It's now down to 47.5. I got people already texting me. It's like, hey, should I still bet it? Yes, you should still bet it because this thing's going to keep going down and down and down. I'm going to quick share my screen for anybody watching from the video. I love this weather page, weather.gov, my man.
Yeah.
If you look Sunday right here, the game's at 1 o'clock p.m. You're looking at wind gusts 29, 28, 25. Oh, and guess what? Temperatures between 30 and 41 degrees. Freezing rain, or it could be sleet or snow. Not exactly conducive weather to an over. I think this thing keeps going down. I'm taking the under 47.5 in this one, Raph.
I agree. I mean, I saw the weather reports. I use that weather report because I do weather odds. So that's a great website. I'm glad you shouted them out because they do fantastic work over there. And this will be 45 and a half because once Sunday comes in and you're going to see the ESPN people talking to someone there and the wind's blowing or it's snowing or something like that on Sunday morning and all that, you know the public is going to run to the windows or pick up their phones and parlay the under with a lot of other stuff. This will be 45 and a half by Sunday.
Agreed. Titans +6, total 37.5. This thing keeps going down. It opened around 8, 7.5. I'm passing, Raph. I missed the number. I like betting teams off the bye, but there's no numbers that I have that agree with it, so I'm passing.
Yeah, I can't trust my money on Mills. I mean, a guy that delivered my pizza 2 weeks ago, I'm not putting my money on Mills.
Was it like pepperoni sausage?
I'm old. Like my body can't take pepperoni anymore. I'm old.
So I'm a sausage mushroom guy. Sausage mushroom guy.
I love mushrooms on pizza.
I love sausage mushroom. There you go. All right.
Yes.
Packers, Giants.
God damn, I'm hungry.
Giants +7, total 42.5. Here's my conflict. Numbers wise, I think -7 is interesting. And then the Packers center got injured. Their receivers are banged up, but Jameis Winston. So this is either going to be they win or lose by 50. Coach fired bump is what you also have to consider here because the coach fired bump is a winning situation in general. Doesn't mean it happens every time. I'm really conflicted here. I just think that the Packers could really rally the troops here and mess up Jordan Love's day. Mess up Jameis Winston. I just see Winston coming in and ripping it. Ugh, it's a tough one.
Passing on this one, but I want the Giants to either play well or win this game, and Winston starts another game because he is fantastic at the podium. He's great and in front of a microphone, so he's a great soundbite. So I want him to have a really good game, and maybe we can get another week with famous Jameis as the quarterback. But for betting-wise, I'm passing on this one. Everything you said is 100% true. If this was 6, then maybe I would look at Green Bay or something, but I don't like that 7. And ESPN Bet, well, AKA not to be ESPN Bet, pretty soon has 7.5.
Bears, Vikings 2.5, total 47.5. This was just +3. Ref, you just moved the market on this, man. Saying buy low on the Bears. Look what happened. Or maybe it was Circa putting out -2.5 on their numbers. I don't know. It was one or the other.
Yeah, I saw the 2.5 drop and all that, and I'm like, oh, I missed it. So I think we'll see 3 again. I think
will.
the betting public will probably, and I might, like we like to say, as a TV betting term, we might sprinkle something on the +3, but I'm looking to play the Bears on this one. But I'm looking for points, and more points.
Pure Numbers has the Bears 0.5 in this, so I would pure numbers wise bet. I just think it's a great spot for the Vikings, not the greatest spot for the Bears. The Vikings can't capitalize, and the Vikings have the receivers to capitalize against that secondary. The Bears had them on the ropes until the fourth quarter and that first game. It was such a weird situation. Nothing would surprise me if the Bears win straight up. It wouldn't surprise me. They're playing great ball. They got great receivers themselves. They love the underdog role. It's tough. I'm really excited to watch it. I lean over 48.5. So
the Bears defense is awful. They have not played well.
Bad.
If the Bengals, if an 80-year-old Joe Flacco could put that many points on the Bears defense, then JJ McCarthy. Well, JJ's got a bad hand that he's crushed on a helmet, so he's not completely healthy. But I do lean towards the over as well.
Bengals Steelers -5.5, total 49.5. I'm just going to say I got a better number on the Bengals, but I don't like it as 5.5. But Bengals off the bye, it's always good. The Bengals have that great offense and a horrible defense, just like the Bears. And you saw that game against the Bears. that was a hell of a crazy finish, but here we are.
I was hoping Pittsburgh would have won last week, so I could have jumped on the Bengals at 7, maybe even 7.5 on this one. But there's no value on this game. I know a lot of people think they like the over in this game. I'm like, really? Have you seen Pittsburgh's offense lately? This was a complete pass unless for some odd reason it moves back upwards and I can get a 7 on the Bengals. But I don't think we're going to see 7.
All right. May not see 7 again. Chargers, Jags +3, total 43.5. Is it a little crazy information that I want to fade the Chargers and want to be on the Jags at some point, but I'm not this week. Here's the thing. I could see myself betting the Jags and then all of a sudden, Jim Harbaugh wins by 7. It's like coach versus coach. I will say I do like Liam Cohen better than all their other coaches, though, in Jacksonville.
But is he on a hot seat if they keep on losing? That's the biggest issue that the grumblings that I'm hearing. And I know Trevor Lawrence had the extension and stuff like that, but if let's say they I don't know if they lose every game, but they continue to struggle, what are they going to do? I mean, they signed it. I know teams that would probably pay for Trevor Lawrence to put a new jersey on, aka Pittsburgh, who are going to be looking for a quarterback next year, aka the team in your backyard might be looking for a quarterback next year. Would they pay the price to get Trevor Lawrence? We've seen it shine in Indianapolis. You put a new jersey on a quarterback that struggled, and it shined in other places. I think if they get rid of him or they say he's available, I think teams can call for Trevor Lawrence. I don't like this game. I was hoping to get maybe 2 on the Chargers. I just think momentum comes in on the Chargers, and I think momentum or team morale is low in Jacksonville right now.
Yeah, I think morale's low there. They
had high hopes there this year.
Yeah, they did. I mean, how bad is it? Are they 4-5? Is it 3-6? They shouldn't have lost that game against the Bengals early.
That's the one that killed them.
Yeah. I'm staying away from this game. If it was 2.5, I would look to lay it with the Chargers, to be honest with you. But I do want to buy low on this team at some point. I don't know exactly when that's going to happen or if it happens. Yeah, they're 5-4. So they've choked games away, but they're still above 500. There's still life in this Jaguars team. I don't see them catching the Colts. And, the wild card is a possibility because you'll get 2 out of the West. You'll only get 1 out of the North, because I think the Steelers are going to keep falling. And you're going to get Buffalo and New England. So you got 1 wild card left. So I think they still have a shot of life. Panthers, Falcons -3.5, total 42.5. I hate the Falcons because you never know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates, my friend.
Is Morris on a hot seat? I mean, because there's another team that had high hopes in Carolina who played well at the end of the season. People thought we were going to improve. I was so disappointed on that game last week with the Carolina play. This is two teams that you said it. I want nothing to do. Who'd have thought last week your higher hopes are the Saints, then these two teams are playing right now, Saints and Panthers and Falcons. Yeah, this is a complete pass for me.
I lost a survivor on that, and congratulations to the person that won. It was my final. It was a survivor I had last one in Splash, and yeah, I just thought Panthers on the up, but I'm also thinking letdown spot against the Packers, but this won't affect them. They're kind of exciting now. What a terrible showing. They just kind of turned right back into what they were, and I deserved it. I probably should have went with the Bears, but here we are. Seattle, LA -3, total 48.5. What do we have?
Man, this is a tough. I lean towards the Rams just because they're at home.
Ooh, even though you like just
defense,
even though you talk Seattle up.
I said lean. I said lean.
Okay,
I didn't say it.
All right.
But it would not shock me if Seattle wins, they blow them out. Mm-hmm. Seattle reminds me of Indiana in college football. They'll put points up. They'll put points on you up quickly and often. So so even if you're playing back, you're going to be playing back up all four quarters, and they're just going to keep the pressure on. I think if Seattle wins, they blow them out, and I think if the Rams win this one at home, I think they win like 6 points or less.
Yeah, I wanted to play the Rams under the 3 a little bit, but I wanted a better number. I think that Hussey's an amazing home ref, but the truth is it home in LA? I think it is now. I think the Rams finally got a home field advantage.
There's going to be a lot of Seahawk fans at this game.
There will too. I think it's going to be 65-35. I feel like it's going to be something like that. But it's in history when the Rams especially were bad, it was like the Raiders where the other team would completely show up as fans and they would not even have a home field at their own home. So that you've seen that happen a lot. But you're right. I think this is a pretty solid line. It's so funny. It's almost like I would almost lean Seattle at the 3 and lean the Rams at 2.5, to be honest. But it's a stay away for me. I think the Seattle could be a good teaser leg, even though it's at 3. I think that it could, it goes back from 2.5 to 3. That's good enough for me. Niners, Cardinals +3, total 48.5. I'm playing the Cardinals. I hate the fact that Marvin Harrison just had appendicitis. It sucks.
Yep, he's out.
But they still got the best tight end in football in Trey McBride. They still have the Dortch the Torch, and Wilson's been playing really well there too. And Brissett's kind of brought a new energy to this team. I think Pouty Kyler Murray being on IR makes a lot of sense. And this Niners team is so injured. And now you're going to bring Brock Purdy back where there's all this weirdness, how Mac Jones has played so long. And I mean, here's the thing. The Niners statistically stop the run, and they stop guys like CMC. They could, because that's their power, is stopping the kind of right at the line trenches defense, and they've been doing very well at that. And I think that's kind of their path to victory against the Niners. I mean, they're 12th in rush EPA, which isn't the worst. I think that rushing success rate, they're kind of down there, but I think that this is where it's too much value being put on the Niners who are this injured. So like I'm selling high in the Niners, I'm taking the Cardinals.
Yeah, I like the Cardinals in this one. I just want nothing to do because CMC could be hurt in the first quarter. The way their trends are going for San Francisco, I want nothing to do with them. And I agree with you, Brissett. I think the writing was on the wall that you're probably going to need a new quarterback next year. And now they put video game on IR. He ain't going to play another down. I would be shocked if he plays another down in Arizona this year. So I think it's for me, I think it's Arizona with, I think, a better quarterback right now.
Kansas City, Denver is now down to mostly, there's some 4s out there and some like crappy books like Bovada -120. I'm going to have to call this 3.5. I'm going to hate myself for doing this, but I'm taking the 4. I have to take 3.5 for the show, so let me erase that. It's 3.5. Look, my numbers don't get anywhere near Denver being a home dog here, past the 3 against the Chiefs team when statistically they're pretty dang equal. I do hate the Alex Singleton news, how he's going to miss because of that testicular cancer. Thank God for drug tests. Because that's how they found out he's got.
That's found it, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, Jesus. You should always welcome being drug tested now after that, my friend. But he had testicular cancer. They removed it. He's going to be fine. He's going to come back. As sure as hell I doubt would be this week. I mean, I had a vasectomy myself. I don't think I could play football 6 days later.
Was.
Oh, I had fun watching college basketball afterwards, but it was, so here's the deal. It's a situation where Bo Nix, as bad as he been, this is a different role. Home dog in Denver, cold weather. The Chiefs are always overpriced and overvalued, but my problem is Andy Reid off the bye kills me. But it's like, if it was Andy Reid off the bye and they're favored by 2 points, it's different than being favored by 4 points on the road here. So I got to take the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, everyone, but Denver has won ugly. It's all close games. But you know what? When you go in the locker room, it doesn't matter how many points you won. You got a W.
Absolutely.
And that defense, I think, is going to be very stifling at home. Have 4 already. And I still think 3.5. And I think if it even goes down to 3, I still think there's value on a field goal as a home dog on this one. I like Denver's defense. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game as well. A 45 wouldn't shock me if we see 44.5 start popping up. And I think it's going to be a low-scoring game.
44.5 now.
Low-scoring game helps Denver.
It sure does. I agree. Low-scoring game helps Denver. Glad you're with me, my man. We haven't had much for disagreement yet, just very slight on a couple. Hey, we keep going here with the Ravens and the Browns. Browns plus 7.5, total 38.5. The Ravens are just so perfect for choke situations. I believe that they're very fortunate with all the penalties going against these other teams. 13 penalties at home on the Vikings last week. I don't know, man, what's going on with this Ravens and the way they're winning. And the Roquan Smith is their most important piece to their defense, but this defense ain't the Ravens defense that I remembered. I'm passing. I don't even want to tease the Ravens, to be honest.
I actually like the dog, and I like the plus 7.5. How ironic when we wake up on Monday and we're talking about how the Browns or the Steelers both won their games and Baltimore sitting back and like, oh shoot, we had a division. I mean, the division favorites for the past 2 weeks. They're not even in the lead to win the division right now. So I love me some storylines on Monday. I love me chaos on Monday. And I'm going to say, Kayla, I like the plus 7.5. I like Cleveland.
Don't disagree. You know, I can't do proper numbers on Baltimore because of the length of time Lamar and Roquan was out. But my numbers right now would say to bet Cleveland. You know, even as bad as Cleveland's been, that's what it shows. I'm still putting them as lean. You're getting me closer, buddy. You're getting me closer and closer, Raph. Here we go. Yeah, let's go.
Dog pound.
38 point total. 38 point total. That says dog. Detroit versus the Eagles. 2 of the best teams in the NFC. Eagles minus 2.5 total, 46.5. A little bit of money coming in the Eagles. Does it touch 3? I doubt it. But
I don't think we'll see. I don't think we'll see 3.
I kind of like teasers on both ends. I'm starting to do more 10-point teasers with a third team at minus 120, and I wouldn't mind taking the Eagles to 7.5, and I don't mind taking the Lions to 8.5 either on a 6-point teaser, to be honest with you. I think it's a close game.
It is, and I think of all the A.J. Brown distraction, I think at some point it's going to be a distraction. He's not lying on what he's saying. They're not going to win a Super Bowl with the offense that they're playing lately. I'm going to take the Lions. I want to wait to see if I can get a better number. I think Eagle money will come in, depending on how the public does all day Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to wait to see what number I can get. I'm leaning towards taking the Lions in this spot. I'm just not 100% sold on that Eagles offense.
I've got
the defense really good.
My algorithm has the Lions minus 1.5, and my power ratings have the Lions like a dog by 1. So yeah, I agree with you. It's Lions or nothing for me. But it's so dang close, and it's just sitting in between the threes right now. So I have no rush to go bet the Lions, and neither do you, Raph. We're gonna wait, and we're gonna wait and see what happens. It was also 2.5 on Circus, so there's nothing there. What about the Cry Boys? The Dallas Cry Boys coming off the bye, making massive moves with their future, trading a bunch of picks for Williams when you're 3-5-1. You know, that's just so. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Jerry Jones got diagnosed again with cancer. God forbid that would be. But I mean, why are you doing this now? I mean, are you trying to win this year? If you're trying, I think the Cowboys are terrible on the road. But here's the thing: they're off the bye, but the Raiders are off extra rest too. You know, the Raiders are off extra rest. I'm close to betting the Raiders.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm glad that there's a lot of college basketball games on Monday. Oregon State's playing on Monday. I'm glad wrestling's on Monday. I got Monday Night Raw. I mean, John Cena has two live events left. I do not want to touch this. I might look at some prop bets on this game. I don't want to dog poo-poo this game, but I don't trust the Cowboys and I don't trust the Raiders. Now, I think there's could be value on maybe live betting this or prop betting this. Don't get me wrong. But for right now, for a Monday night game, I'm excited that college hoops and wrestling are on. And this game would not be on my sound in my office when I'm watching games. I can guarantee you.
If you watch this game, you have a problem. Call somebody. Get help. Thank God for college basketball. I agree. This could be weird and ugly, and I just don't know what to expect with this Cowboys team. This is the worst Cowboys defense I've seen. I don't think one guy fixes it. I think the Raiders, believe it or not, have some pieces. Genty was overdrafted, but he's still good. There's Crosby there is still always motivated. I think that you've been waiting for this game, and I would it shock you to see Jerry Jones pissed off again? No. 3.5 is very tempting. I didn't take it, but I'm very tempted by it. Well, hey, man, that brings us to our next segment, Beer Bet Bangers. Any plus money or long shots in any sport that you like this week?
I'm going to give out plus money on NFL.
Okay.
I say the Bears at money line. We both discussed it. It would not shock us if they continue to play good football and shock a Minnesota team that has a banged up when your quarterback has a bad hand and is a throwing hand because he hit a helmet, it doesn't cure itself overnight. I mean, when I blow my back out, it doesn't cure itself overnight, and I do a lot of. So I would say no. I would say the Bears are very, very live a target to win this game. I would definitely do that.
Absolutely. I don't disagree with that. I'll probably join you on that with a little beer money myself. For me.
Well, I have one more for college.
Please,
Please,
by all means.
What did I say early in the show? I love me some chaos. I love me a whole bunch of people just going nuts on Monday because of what happened over the weekend.
Yes.
We all made fun of that guy in Texas. Quarterback has a famous name. Wouldn't it be fantastic if a non-true SEC team went to a powerhouse home team in Georgia?
Baron Morton? Not Baron Morton. Okay.
And blows him up, and Texas beats Georgia. Oh, I would love that just because the true SEC players who thought, Texas and Oklahoma are joining us. Oh, there's going to be two cupcake teams that we get to play. What did Oklahoma do on a blackout in Knoxville? They beat Tennessee.
Yeah.
And Texas do the same thing to Georgia.
Maybe. Georgia's been unimpressive. Somehow they get through at the end. I don't disagree with that. Why not take a shot on little Texas and maybe Manning kind of comes out of his shell and they look a lot better. And I will give Manning a little apology credit because they lost a ton of skill on offense and over the past 2 years, especially. I think, he stays another year, he's going to look a lot better personally. And maybe after the bye,
he's played better lately.
And Sarkisian's a good enough coach on the offense to catch anybody. I know they haven't had the greatest offense this year, but Texas does have the defense. I think it's going to be a fun game. I'm super excited for college football this weekend. And I don't disagree. My beer bet banger, I'm just going to go with Cleveland. The Cleveland Brownies to upset the Ravens, baby. You talked me into it. Why not? Throw some beer money on it. And you know what? I think the Ravens have been getting by a little bit with smoke and mirrors, just like you kind of mentioned before. And I think the Browns, Dylan Gabriel's going to have his breakout game at some point. I think this could be it. And yeah, why not? Let's I mean, you get a nice money on him, and why not? Just throw a few bucks on them and we'll go from there. But here we are, Ref. Great weekend coming up. We got UFC. Have you looked at UFC?
I did. I think that the women's
anything you like there.
I think the women's title fight. Maybe we can hear new
Zhang Weili against Valentina Shevchenko.
I think you can get better plus money after the weigh-in because I think that Weili's coming has to gain weight for this fight, so I think she's gonna probably look much smaller and probably look intimidating. So I think everyone's gonna bet money on a champ. So I think we can get a better price on this one. I just think Weili's it's a tougher fighter. I mean, I just think she takes it to her. She's not gonna be afraid. She's not gonna be separated and try to get caught by either a miracle kick that the champ wants to throw. I think Weili's going to be in her face from start to finish.
All right, Weili Zhang calling the upset. I mean, she's been waiting for this moment, so here we go. Big fight here coming up this week. And I think Weili's pretty good sprawling against the wrestling. That's kind of what you worry about when she's fighting Shevchenko. I'm gonna talk a little UFC in a few minutes, but I don't disagree. I want to look at it a little bit more and kind of make a decision from there. Raph, you're the best. Where can our listeners get your wonderful information and plays?
You can find me over at DocSports.com. I can't believe I've been there for 20 years. Can you believe I've been at Doc Sports for 20 years? That's crazy. You can find me on X at BSI Doc Sports. You can find me on Instagram at Raphael Esparza. You can find me on TikTok at Raphael Esparza. You can find me daily on Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, Wuku TV, coaching company Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm everywhere.
Raph, you're the best. We'll be tweeting. Have a wonderful weekend. Best of luck in your plays.
Thank you. Catch big.
Refuse to lose teaser time. We're going to do another 10-point teaser. The Bills got me last week. We're 3-7 in refuse to lose teasers, so it's bad, but let's get up to 7-7, guys. Eagles plus 7.5, Seahawks plus 13, Bucks plus 15.5. I think that the Bucks will keep it close with the Bills because it's just going to be an absolute snowy, rainy, windy game. Seahawks, they're a good team. They're going to keep it somewhat close. The Eagles, really good at home. The Lions are good too, but they're going to keep it within a touchdown. They're the favorite team, in my opinion. So we're going to do this 10-point 3-team teaser at minus 120 for 2 stars. All right. Now it is time for
The Sharp Side of the Force.
Sharp Side of the Force is brought to you by This Season. For the largest sports contest in all the land, please visit www.theszn.com/OB for 20% off. Terms, conditions, location apply. All right, Sharp NFL. We have the Titans plus 7.5 to plus 6, hosting the Texans. 39% of the tickets and 51% of the money. Sharp money on the Bears plus 3 to plus 2.5 at the Vikings. 62% of the tickets, 79% of the money. Sharp money on the Chiefs minus 3 to minus 3.5 at the Broncos. 58% of the tickets, 76% of the money. Sharp totals. Commanders versus Dolphins under 48.5 to 47.5, 90% of the tickets, 94% of the money. Bears versus Vikings over 48.5 to 48.5, 53% of the tickets, 77% of the money. Buccaneers versus Bills under 49.5 to 47.5, 65% of the tickets, 75% of the money. And Cowboys versus Raiders over 45.5 to 50, 42% of the tickets, and 70% of the money. All right, little UFC action this weekend. Huge event in the Mecca, Madison Square Garden, November 15th, UFC 322, Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. I got to play in the fight. I'm taking the under. Here's the thing. 3.5 rounds. So if this gets past the middle of the fourth round, God bless. I lost it. This is a weird situation. Islam hasn't fought since January. It's kind of been a little bit of a time. It's not the most time fighters have taken off, but it's been a little bit, and he's now at 170, and Jack Della's a badass, man. My problem with Jack Della is I don't know if he can wrestle and get up from Islam. And if he can't, he's going to gas and he's going to get choked out. So if he can get up and he can just tap Makhachev, hit him correctly, hit him at the right time. I've seen Makhachev dazed in the past watching in Makhachev's early UFC days. He could get knocked out. He absolutely could get knocked out. It's a plus 450 for Makhachev to get knocked out. Do I want to play it? I'd rather play the under at plus 105. So, yeah, that's I think a good play. I mean, sure, it can go over, and you know what? It would probably be a very exciting fight if it does go over anyway, but I just think there's just way more chances of this thing ending early with the way that these two fight. I like Jack Della. I was very impressed with his last fight when he took the belt from Bilal Muhammad. He got up enough and stuck with it. Islam's a little bit better of a wrestler than Bilal. That's the problem. And if Islam's smart, he keeps it on the ground. He does not box with Jack Della. That'd be stupid. But you know what? They do stupid things. And yeah, that's why I just can't trust laying a minus 275, minus 290 price, even in a parlay with Islam, if he wants to just prove that he can win on his feet too. The fighters get conceited like that, and I think that would be a terrible choice. But I like the plus 105 under 3.5 rounds. So the rest of the card, I'll tell you some leans. Valentina Shevchenko against Zhang Weili. I looked at this again, and I kind of have to pivot. I'm not on Raph's side on this. I just have to go back to Valentina, even though she's the older fighter at 37 years old. Not that much older. Weili Zhang's been in there for a long time, but her losses to Rose Namajunas is more telling to me. And yeah, Zhang's actually 36 years old. I thought she was 34, 35. Yeah, it's just more telling that she can be beat, and she's had a pretty easy schedule. There's just nobody on there. Carla Esparza, who's on this card. No, sorry, she's not on this card. Just Carla Esparza was her big fight and big win. And then Esparza goes and loses to Tessia Pennington. So that didn't age that well, No, it's one of the greatest of all time. If Amanda Nunes is number one, it's Valentina Shevchenko. And I saw Valentina Shevchenko beat a badass Manon Fiorot. And I can't go off Valentina Shevchenko. I wonder where this line goes. I'm probably going to get on this one. I understand Zhang is one of the best ever, but so is Valentina. It's just be very hard for me to not bet on Valentina and watch her win this fight. So big lean to Valentina. Sean Brady versus Michael Moraes. Probably a good number. Sean Brady minus 140. Moraes comeback plus 120. I like Moraes a lot, but Sean Brady is the more well-rounded fighter, the better wrestler. Brady has had a hell of a recent run here, in my opinion. Brady took out a couple pretty good names, actually. He beat Leon Edwards, who's on this card, and Leon Edwards, the former champ, he choked him out. He can wrestle. He beat Gilbert Burns. I mean, so did Moraes. Moraes is probably the better stand-up, but I don't think that Moraes can keep this standing the whole time. He knocked out Gilbert Burns himself, beat Neil Mangy, Jake Matthews, Max Griffin. Not the biggest names in the past, but he's a badass. Michael Moraes. This is gonna be a fun fight. I think it's properly priced with the wrestler at the minus 140. I lean to Sean Brady, but probably not gonna lead juice on something that could go south on me. Next fight, you got Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates. I will be on Prates at some point. This is another play I'll give you, but you have to lay some juice at minus 175. I agree with that. I love Prates in his last fight with that spinning elbow. Holy cow, knocking out Jeff Neal like that. That was badass. When he fought Ian Gary, maybe he just got done smoking and drinking, but it was a short notice fight, and he took Ian Gary really far. And I think if there was another round, he might have beat Ian Gary there. Prates is just a man child. And Leon Edwards, I give him a ton of credit for being champ and beating Kamaru Usman. He just in beating Colby Covington. But man, Prates can kind of do it all, and I'm probably going to put a little bit on Prates. I haven't yet, but we'll just throw that as another free play though. So I like Prates here, and the fact that Leon Edwards can be wrestled makes me think that Prates might even wrestle him a little bit, because Prates can wrestle. He's from Brazil. He's just a much better, well-rounded fighter. He's more lanky. He's got a 4-inch reach on Leon Edwards too, so the smart way of doing this is Prates getting Edwards to the ground a few times and holding him down. Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint Denis. I looked at this a lot. I think Saint Denis is properly favored here. Beneil is just a head case. I don't know. It's like 1 minute you think he's great, and then he goes and gets his ass kicked by Charles Oliveira. Whenever he steps up in competition, he's kind of got his ass kicked. I'm not saying that Saint Denis is that much of a competition, but Saint Denis has been a pretty good tier 2 fighter, maybe borderline tier 1. But you also have to understand that Saint Denis is still on his way up at 29 years old, 15-3. Beneil, 23, 6-1, 36 years old, probably kind of on his way down. So this is kind of a door to the tier 1 system, in my opinion, for Benoit Saint Denis. Gatekeeper type fighter is Beneil Dariush in the lightweight division. So probably staying away from this one. There's going to be a couple more plays that I like. Thinking about throwing a parlay together with Aaron Blanchfield and Bo Nickel. I think Bo Nickel learned a lot from when he fought and lost to Day Ritter. So I just kind of feel that he's probably learned something in this situation as well. So there you have it. That's the UFC. Going to dig a little deeper into the undercard now that I have some time, that the shows are done with and most of my plays are made in college football. That brings us to the recap, my friends. Dolphins -2.5. Bills under 47.5. Cardinals +3. Denver Broncos +3.5. And obviously the teaser with the Eagles, Seahawks, and Bucks, all 10-point teasers. And we're going under in the main event and getting on Prates as well at the -175. My friends, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you have any questions for us, feel free to tweet us at The Oddsbreakers. Email us at info@theoddsbreakers.com. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. And go get some winners.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.